What's up, Fan Expo Canada? Are you guys having a good con so far? Well, I said this in the last panel, but I always feel like Sundays of these shows are like the last day of summer camp. Like it just starts, and before you realize it, you've had 4 days of fun. Has anybody been here all 4 days? These are the true fans. Well, it's not over yet. We still have a few hours and a few panels, and we've saved one of the best for last. Do we have is there any Goonies fans in here? So just a few. Bits of business here. We're gonna do this traditional con style. This gentleman right here in the red shirt has a microphone, so if you wanna ask a question, go ahead and line up. We're gonna get to you guys really, really quick. I wanna take as many audience questions as possible, and these guys love audience questions. They're a ton of fun. I'm so excited to host another thing with them. My name's James Wallace. You guys are already a great audience. Are you ready to bring them out? All right, we're gonna show a special video clip to intro them, but before we do that, I feel like I like to do a unifying thing to unify us nerds together. So on 3, we're gonna do a Goonies Never Say Die. All right, 1, 2, 3. Goonies Never Say Die. Roll that beautiful bean footage. The Goonies!
I was totally doing the political thing where you're like, oh hey, yes, oh hey, good to see you. Totally blinding light, can't see a thing.
Sean's gonna have a new talk show. That was good. I envisioned the future.
What's it gonna be called? The Sean and Corey Show.
Shawno!
Shawno.
I don't know.
The Shawno Show?
The Shawno Show!
This is such a special movie to all of us for so many reasons, especially if you grew up in the 80s. We all felt like we were Goonies, but I'd love to know, you guys were just kids when you made this. What makes this special for you personally? What makes this movie special?
I thought you said you said for so many reasons, but I thought you were gonna say because we're Europeans.
No.
It's so special because we're European. Are there any Europeans out there?
Oui, oui, mon cher.
Are there any Canadians out there? Yeah! What about Texans? Just me? All right.
I love this country so much.
Yeah.
I was the immigration. Not this time, but a couple of times ago. I might have been in Calgary or Ottawa. I don't know wherever I was, but there was nobody in line, and so I just was chatting up the immigration person. They said, well, let's look up and see how long you've been here. And he's scrolling through like this and scrolling through. He's like, you've been here a lot. Like, can you give me dual citizenship? Maybe. As an American, I'm supposed to say that my country is the greatest country in the world. But if I didn't say that, I'd say that Canada is.
Absolutely. I love Canada so much, I married one of you.
That's because they said he could only marry one. So he picked the best one. I'm sure you're
in
all
America,
fine.
we're only allowed to marry one. I don't know, unless there's different rules here.
What makes Goonies special to me is the friendship I have with my castmates and the crew. Every now and then you'll see somebody from the crew that you haven't seen in forever, and you think, oh my God. And they saw us in our 13, 14 years old selves. And I remember very specific things, but not all the stuff they remember. And it's not all good.
Yeah.
And 12. We were 12.
12. And we had an amazing time making the movie. I mean, it was just like a giant playground with, 6 of your other best friends. I mean, you can't beat pirate ships, water slides, and...
Bicycles, just bicycles was great.
Yeah.
Golf carts. We got to ride golf carts.
And octopus.
We didn't have...
The octopus was very scary.
about what they must have been doing in that mixing stage not to have cut that out. Right? Like, there's so many things in the movie that are left in there that are like, should not be in there. That are like,
No,
just.
you know what? I actually asked Dick about it. I did. I said, why? Why would you just let that go? And he said, well, I figured it, whether it's true or not, maybe the kid's making up a bigger adventure than it needs to be, but at least it sounds really exciting to the police. And I'm like, okay. That works for me.
A newly legalized substance was being partaken of.
Why would you say such a thing?
It's awesome. They let us do stuff like, I always try and say my little brother, well, I've stopped lately because I'm forgetful, but my little brother, Mackenzie Astin, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Got some Mackenzie Astin fans out here. More Mackenzie Astin fans than Europeans, interestingly. But I wanted to say his name because he couldn't be a part of the movie. He wasn't in the movie. And it is hard to be a brother of seeing somebody like, oh, a Steven Spielberg movie. So when the Fratellis are shooting at us, when we've walked across slick shoes, you've done slick shoes on the pole there, and the water's come down, and they shoot, and bang, the thing goes off the rock, the bullet, and I go, holy Mackenzie. I said, can I say that? He goes, sure. His attitude was basically, if a kid's going to do it, if you're actually doing it in your life and you want to say that, it should be in the movie.
Yeah, that's what's so great about Dick Donner, and I think it played off really well on screen, was he allowed us to be who we are. I mean, it's like there were a lot of improvisation. Like, because I remember they were all constantly swearing, and I made a promise to my mom that I can't swear on in the movie. And I said, hey, I want to do one of them. I want to say, first of all, I don't know if we have any kids here, but like I want to swear, So instead of swearing, I said, holy shit, So, and Dick allowed that, He's like, oh, you want to do it? Go for it. Have fun with it. You know?
Can you remember the booty traps thing?
Do you know how that started?
I can't remember.
Okay, so I've never told this story before. It's not in the script. Sean pulled me aside, and he says, hey, Key, let's rehearse lines. Remember this?
That's coming back?
Yeah. He says, Key. So we walked off the set, and we're rehearsing lines, and it starts off and says, hey, Data, where you going? I said, I'm setting booty traps. And he says, Key, you mean booby traps? And I said, yeah, that's what I said, booby traps. We both paused. We looked at each other, and Sean said, let's do it exactly like that. And it ended up being.
I love how this story turned out. It's awesome. I love it. It's true, though. It's absolutely
and that's true.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being one of the more famous Data lines that I get quoted all the time.
Yeah. Do you guys know who Richard Donner is? Like, if you saw him walking down the street, would you know who he is? So this is one of the great directors of the 20th century: Superman and The Omen and Lady Hawk and the Lethal Weapon trilogy and other great movies.
Don't forget The Omen.
And The Omen, yeah.
The Omen.
So, and the Goonies. So he's this big barrel-chested guy, and he has this laugh that it's like
like that.
Yeah, and it's outsized. It doesn't make sense. You're like, why is that man laughing that loud? I don't know. Right? Like, it's almost like, they say in the military that guy has command presence. He has command presence, and he leverages it using his laugh. And so when we would say something like the booty traps thing, the laugh that would come out, you're like, I hope in my life I can laugh that quickly and easily and broadly, I mean, he was just, he is just a guy with, and he loved that. Except I did overhear him one time, we were behind the pirate ship set. Sorry, it's a set, but, what? Not the one that's sailing away. That's a model.
That's CGI.
No CGI, model. What was I gonna say? So, Dick was behind and I hear him on the phone, and he's like, he goes, I was making this damn kid's picture, and it's turning into a whole thing.
No, but what's so great about the laugh is, because he would laugh during the take.
Yeah.
And while we're acting, and we hear this laugh, and when you hear it, you go, oh, you know what, I'm doing a good job. I'm like, he's laughing, so this is good, So it became very infectious, Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't always remove his laughing from the soundtrack. If you watch the scene with Chunk, where they're putting his hand in the blender, And oh no, and at this point, at a certain point, he has ice cream and a spoon, and he's trying to get the last little bit of ice cream, and they take it away from the Fratellis, take the ice cream away, and he's like crying. Chunk is crying. You can hear Dick very clearly laughing. Very clearly laughing. So it's his fault.
Hey, does anybody actually remember what the damn question was?
Yeah, what's meaningful to us about Goonies?
You remembered it because you answered it. We never answered it, you see? He asked one question so far. One question.
Well, no, we both answered it. You haven't.
Oh, well, I haven't had a chance. Mouth and mouth.
You guys are still the Goonies.
You know
all these
what?
Years later.
My favorite part of this is the fact that out of all the films that I did with kids, because obviously as a kid I worked with a lot of different kids, and there was always different groupings, and I'm still friends with some of those guys, but there's nothing like this. Like, we have it's almost like family. It's like brotherhood. It's like we have a different bond that you know, I mean, I felt it with Corey Haim because we did 7 movies together, so, you know, we spent a lifetime together. But with us, we did 1 movie, but we're still just as close as we were, you know, when we were on the set. So there is something to be said for that kind of magic, that it would really have that resounding of an effect on us as adults. And obviously it had that resounding effect on you as the audience. So we're very grateful for that.
Goonies never say die. Goonies never say die. I want to make sure we get to as many questions as possible. So let's go ahead and take it to you guys. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
You guys.
That was like microphone. That was like a jazzy rendition. I like it.
Yeah, right?
It's a Doppler effect.
Yeah.
It's our time. It's our time down here.
Oh man, this guy.
My question is, I asked you guys, you were...
Questioners have unionized.
Strike.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, my question is, I understand you guys were working on an idea for a Goonies reboot or sequel. When you guys talk a bit about that?
You guys have never been asked this before, right?
Never.
That is the most asked question, I think, for the last 30 years.
We're getting it out of the way in the first
I will
question.
answer in song. Someday, when I'm awfully low, just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Okay.
That had nothing to do with the
Someday part. Someday it'll happen. The audience wants it. They're going to do it. It's annoying it's taking so long. I'm sorry on behalf of Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, we'll get it done tomorrow, I swear.
Someday it'll happen, yes.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Oh yeah, I have one comment for Sean Astin. Is like, I like how you dude Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I was so addicted to at 2012. And I did meet Rob Paulson, which is the best one. And Raphael is like...
Wait. What do you mean he's the best one?
Well, I did have a good example of Raphael. They call him the OG, right? Weren't you the OG, Raph? Yeah. So there you go.
He got to understudy.
Yeah. And then when we did the 2012 Nickelodeon iteration, which you were also prominently in, Rob Paulson was sitting I was sitting next to him, and he was the voice of Raphael. It's very meta. You know, I worked with a Raph, I'm standing next to a Raph, I'm a Raph, you're all Raph. Everybody's Raph.
Yeah.
Everybody's Raph. I love doing that part. Come on, stop talking and start fighting. Let's go. That's why.
And not only...
When he gets Spike, what's the turtle first? He turns into Spike.
Well, it's only fitting that we were like best friends when we did the Turtles together, right? So I was Sean's turtle. How many of you knew that? Yes, I became his pet. That's right.
You were?
He becomes my mutant pet.
Just call me your bitch, all right? Just call me your bitch. Jesus.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, and another thing is, how would you feel if the Goonies were made together with Raphael, Chester the cat, and Special Agent Ozzy here? It's all part of the plan.
She's like dropping my entire animation catalog.
I know. She's a
Especially
super fan.
Canoso. It's all part of the plan. And you said Chester. Chester just screams all the time, and it hurts my throat. But I love that show, Banicula, and thank you for noting all of these shows. I love doing animation.
Hakuna Matata, damn it.
Hakuna Matata.
Thank you.
Hakuna Matata.
And break a leg.
Thank you. And then Nene.
That is one festive Minnie Mouse right there.
Yes.
Oh, that's Minnie Mouse.
What's
We
up?
have Superman and Batman.
Okay,
Yeah, but
nice.
no fighting. No
Hey,
fighting whatsoever.
well, you're both your mom. I don't. Spoiler: your mom's names are both Martha, so you don't. I saved you a fight. You don't have to fight now.
Okay, so my question is for Mr. Sean Astin, or as in one of my favorite characters, Samwise Gamgee. I have a request and I have a question. For my request, could you please say, Mr. Frodo, no!
Mr. Frodo, no! We tried to count how many times I said Mr. Frodo. Computers don't go that high.
So my question, after a long journey from the Shire to Mordor and then back to the Shire, could you please just explain or just explain what it felt like to just say, well, I'm back, and you closed that door, and it all ended, and we cried, and all tears, and whatever. What it felt like, that experience.
So the little girl in Sam's arms is Eleanor, and she was portrayed by my daughter, Allie. So I was holding my daughter, Allie, in my arms, and she wouldn't stop fidgeting with my elven brooch. And I was getting upset because I really wanted her to listen. And she wouldn't listen to me. Just so you know, she's 22 now. That has not changed. But she did listen to Peter Jackson. And so there was a moment when I said, well, I'm back, where you just knew the significance, the literary significance of that moment, the power of it. It was pretty great. It's pretty great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just
Thanks.
want to say that you inspired all of us when you just held Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I will carry you, and just went on to the mountain. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Would you mind holding me the way you held Frodo?
That's such a weird nerd fantasy I didn't know I had until this moment. Samwise holding Batman like he held Frodo.
I'm not Batman.
Only at Comic-Con
Yeah.
Fan Expo Canada, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Just by way of kind of circumnavigating this, so in the Batman television series in the 70s, there were 3 actors who portrayed the Riddler. One was Frank Gorshin, right?
Who else?
And the second one was John Astin.
Oh.
My father.
I didn't know that.
Yes. He was depicted in very, very, very tight green leotard that all my friends from school saw. He's not Jewish.
Wait a minute, really? Is that really true? You have a Riddler costume in your house?
Well, not in my house, but
I mean, did he keep it? He had it at the house, really?
I'm sure if I went to Western Costume and I was like going through all the things, it'd be like, oh, there's Cary Grant's thing, and oh, there's Frank and John Astin's
Wow.
Riddler. Yeah, he would always say, riddle me this, Batman.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
goofy,
now,
right?
now I'm impressed. That's it.
Finally.
I'm gonna come over and get your dad's autograph at some point.
Finally, after all these years,
That's
you
right.
finally impressed him.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Before I ask my question, I wanted to know, est-ce que vous parlez français? Do you speak French at all?
Oui. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I know that we are. When we in Air Canada, you land, they speak in French, and I just think, oh. Enchanté.
And I'm a teacher, and I was wondering if you would be able to send a message to my students to say hello and maybe give a message on the importance of reading and having adventures.
What grade level?
This year I'm going to be teaching kindergarten to grade 6, but elementary anyway. And can
Oh,
I
I've got
approach a little
something.
bit to
Go ahead.
video
You
it?
leave say a message about the importance of education. Well, let me just Let me just say that this year when school started for my 14-year-old daughter, I decided I hate school now, and I was like, when mom says it's time to get in the car, run, hide, never go to school again, stop reading, stop thinking, stop learning. I don't want this to happen anymore, because you know what happens when they're learning? They're growing, and then they're not the same. She's like, next year she'll be 15, not 14. This is terrible. My 17-year-old just turned 17. I'm like, stop turning 17.
This message is going horribly.
This is not the message you were looking for.
Run, no more school. The problem is they give too much homework now. You know, homework's too hard. Why do you have to have that much homework? My kids spend 5 hours a day doing homework. I'm like, you better be smart. I have all this homework. Do you want to go to a movie? No, I have homework. Whatever. And their mom's like, they have to do their homework. So I'm the good parent. Okay, so you can actually go to the Screen Actors Guild Foundation. Actually, if you just type in my name and the word bad case of stripes, there's over 1 million views of me reading this little children's book, and it is awesome, and it's perfectly suited for that age group. It's about Camilla Cream, who doesn't like lima beans. And she starts turning all different shades and colors and shapes, and it's not very good for her. And they call in the experts, and they give her pills. But the only thing that works, spoiler, I'm not saying it. Kids, if you read, you will laugh and love your life. So read.
You can probably cut something together out of all that. I think we got it. One take.
The thing is, the camera broke, so all they're going to get is truancy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
So, I wasn't born in the 80s, but I still enjoyed all your roles from back then. But my question was, I know the three of you said you're still close, but what about the rest of the cast? You guys still keep in contact?
Hate those guys. Screw them.
Those guys are nuts.
Why do you think they're not here?
You know the
Terrible.
one guy's Thanos now? What is that about?
Right. He went to the dark side. He went to the dark side. What can we do?
Unreal.
First he played Bush, then he played Thanos. Two of the greatest evil emperors of our time.
Have you seen those Sicario movies of Soldaldos?
No, I haven't seen
Oh
it.
my gosh.
No, you got the 3 best Goonies up on stage.
If Carrie or Martha or Josh walked in here right now, we wouldn't care that there's 700 people in here. We'd be like, later players, we're going to go talk to our friends.
We're all one big family, and when we get back together, it's a big family. When they're not here, we take advantage of the fact that they're not here.
No, what's so great about our relationship is, I think Corey touched upon this earlier, is that, you know, sometimes we're busy doing things, and so we don't see each other that often, but when we do see each other, the love is always there. Like Jeff Cohen, who played Chunk, you know, we're good friends, and he's a very successful entertainment lawyer now. It's just, you know, yeah, Goonies bonded us for life.
We have to get Jeff to come out and do a convention.
I'm trying, yeah. He'd be...
There's so many of the pictures of the 4 of us, and there's 3 autographs.
There's only one missing, right?
There's an imbalance in the force. Yeah. We have to...
I don't think the fans can pay as much as his Hollywood clientele. Yeah, the little...
We space it out over time.
Tug of war there. But maybe one day, if you believe, maybe it can happen.
What's that song? One day again. Sing that again, Sean.
One day when I'm awfully low. Just there's something about, like, I can really hear myself, so I like talking. I'm taking advantage of you. You're a captive audience. He's the singer. Why don't you sing something?
I haven't been inspired. I would have to be, you know, you get to...
No, stop it.
We'll be your backup dancers.
Okay, well, if you get up and dance, then I'll sing for sure.
We're the backup.
Don't we have questions to answer? We have questions to answer, right? We've got questions.
Dance, monkey, come on.
Thank you. Next.
Hi. I'm 11 and I want to be an actress when I grow up. It's my dream. And do you have any advice?
Don't do it!
Yep, what he said. No.
I'll say something. You have an
Save
advice?
it, save it, save it.
All right, go ahead. Okay, I'll say this. If you want to get in this business, 99% of the people that you meet is going to tell you no. It's going to tell you that you don't have what it takes to be in this business. And because of that, you're going to have to be even more determined in your path to be an actor. And you have to be steadfast, you have to keep at it, you have to persevere. And one day an opportunity is going to come knocking and it will change your life forever, just like it did for the three of us up here.
Not gonna miss my.
But let me add to that. I think it's really wise to stay in school and to plan. If you really want to do that, if it's something you really want, then there's nothing wrong with waiting a few years and trying it as an older teenager, because, you know, once you're famous, you can never take that back. It doesn't go away. So if you do one movie and you become famous, but then you don't get to work anymore, then you have to deal with people recognizing you for the rest of your life going, how come you're not working anymore? What's wrong with you? And that's a rough deal. And I've met a lot of people whose lives have been ruined because of that. So I always tell kids, stay in school, stay a kid, enjoy your childhood, and when you're ready to become a professional and have a real career as an adult, then go for it with all you got. If you still want it by the time you turn 18, then it is definitely meant to be.
Thank you so much.
Wait, no, you can't leave yet. What's your name?
Sean didn't give you his yet.
What's your name?
Isla.
Isla. Sounds like a professional actor's name to me.
Thank you.
So here's what I would add to that. First of all, these are very good bits of guidance here. You're very confident. You come and you stand here and you own your own space. Your voice is strong. You ask a direct question. You're listening closely to the answer. You've got all the ingredients to be a great performer. So what I would say is the most important thing you can do is work hard. Harder than anybody else. You know, whether that's in your studies, drama class, auditions, whatever it is that you're doing, never stop working hard. And at some point in your life, you'll look up and you'll be like, boy, this hard work really paid off. But that's the difference between people, in my experience, who work consistently over time and those who have ups and downs, is just a constant drumbeat inside of you that says, I have to be working. And you need a little bit of luck, which there, I just gave it to you.
Thank you so much. This is great advice.
Thank you. She already seems...
Cute kid.
She already seems way more mature than me.
Exciting to have you guys in Toronto. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be back.
My brother and I, we lived in Thailand. We were just kids when we watched the Goonies, and we tried to form our own Goonies club and went treasure hunting and went on roofs and fell on roofs and stuff. It was fun. And then,
sounds like you did more than try.
Didn't find treasure, but that's okay. We also, recently, they showed the Goonies in the Cinesphere in IMAX, and that was amazing, kind of reliving our memories. And
I want to see it in IMAX.
IMAX screen, it was phenomenal. It was
My braces are like 2 stories tall.
Well, have you seen the 4K print yet?
No.
Yeah, they put it out over the summer in 4K.
That's what we showed in Dallas. You saw a little bit of it in Dallas.
In the IMAX?
No, in IMAX, the 4K, the restoration.
Okay, I believe you. It was awesome. In Dallas, I did see it at the what's it called, the Draft House.
Yeah.
The Alamo Draft House, which is.
Oh, you were there. Okay.
Yeah, no, that place is awesome.
So then they had, I've been there too, but they had the 4K then.
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't really stay very long, but I saw the beginning with the.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't have that you guys have when we were making it is the music. The music makes the movie really. Dun 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 dun.
No, that was playing in my head all the time when I was
it?
working. Yeah. Every day when I was doing my lines, I'd hear dun 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 dun. I'm like, hey Mikey, dun 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 dun.
You just sang for us.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
I got him.
Good one.
So my question is, were you guys able to sneak in any props like the jewels or the maps, anything from the attic?
Did you keep anything?
Well, Sean has a great story. Your mom, like you moved and then your mom threw away. Tell that story.
Well, it's my supposition. When I was 18, I was cast in the Memphis Belle movie about the B-17 bomber. Thank you very much. Incredible experience going over to England and being a part of that, meeting the veterans and flying in actual B-17s, and it was just awesome. So, but my mom sold our childhood home. So when I came back, it was like, yeah, you don't live here anymore. Like, what? So like a forwarding address or something? So, and I was like, where's the Goonies map? And where's the inhaler and the doubloon and the one thing that has survived over time? And my dad and stepmom, they brought this U.S. postal box. You know, the kind like if you go to the post office, it's sitting on the ground there, like you never see it in someone's home. My dad somehow would get these things, and he brought it over, and he's like, well, here's some stuff we were gonna throw out. And you're like, well, it's a tissue, I don't need that. You're like, oh, it's half of a train, of an HO gauge train set, I don't need that. And then I pull up the Skull and Bones, right? Which is pretty great. But the map, sorry.
I didn't know you got to keep that. Okay, I'll tell you a story. So I kept my outfit and my bike.
Nice.
Ooh, the bike.
Hold on. I didn't say I have it. I said I kept it. Two big variations there. So when I finished Goonies and I kept all this amazing stuff, I was so excited. And this guy who ended up being a nefarious creature, let's just say. He was a nefarious character in my life who did some awful things, and it's in my book. You can read about him. But this guy who was like a huge fanboy of Steven Spielberg and all of his films and whatever, he convinced me at the time to sell him both my wardrobe and my bike, because as a kid, I didn't get my money, right? My parents got my money, so I never got to see it. So he goes, I'll give you $50. Whoa. And I was like, yeah, such a good deal, obviously. Where else am I gonna get $50? Yeah, sad to say, I sold myself out for $50. I was conned. But that said,
just to make you feel better, I saw that bike auctioned on eBay for $100,000.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's very sad. But that said, over the years, I have gotten a few things that have come back to me somehow. So I've gotten a couple of the doubloons somebody gave me, and the A from Andy's sweater.
Oh, wow.
I have the Letterman A from Andy's sweater.
Dare I ask how you got that?
Well, there was one day Carrie and I were in the dressing room. No, I'm just joking. No. It's somebody literally handed it to me at a convention. They were like, hey, I bought this. I thought you should have it. And they gave it to me.
Wow.
I still have the data jacket.
Nice.
Oh,
You
wow.
do?
That's so cool.
Yep,
See,
and
nobody conned you out of $50.
well, it's because I stored it away like a long time. I didn't even know I have it. I moved, and I was just going through all these boxes, and I said, "Hey, what's this?" It's like it's really old. It's got all the tapes on it, and I opened it, and on the very bottom of the box, it's like, "What is this?" I took it out, and it's the data jacket. And it's
Why don't you ever bring it? You should bring it.
Yeah, but it's so weird because I looked at the size of it.
You can't
I
fit
didn't
it
even
anymore?
know it's extra large.
Slick shoes, you gotta fit the boxing glove, and you gotta fit,
You had to
pictures
fit all that
apparel,
stuff. Do you remember how big
gotta-
it was?
gotta
You had to
fit
like
everything.
cover up all that stuff.
Camera, you gotta fit a camera.
But it still looks just as good. So yeah, I still have
Only when you're wearing it, buddy. Only when you're wearing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi there. I'm his twin brother. So
We can tell.
We would never have guessed that. Never.
I'm wearing a different shirt. I I tried to find a Goonies shirt, but I couldn't find one. So
Superman works.
Oh, Superman works? Oh, that was yesterday. Anyway, what I wanted to know is, you guys are amazing, and we grew up loving you. And one of my favorite scenes was the water slide. So I just wanted to know how many did it take a lot of takes for that water slide scene? You know,
I wish that was the one scene that took one shot. They did it like 2 takes and we were done. The rest was stuntmen.
They were worried about safety, so the stunt doubles did it a lot, but we only got to do it like once or twice, which totally blew. I mean,
I'll tell you a funny story. So here's the irony. They're like, kids, this is very dangerous. Every day, you know, we're 12-year-old kids and we're seeing like these giant water slides wrapping all the way around the soundstage. And every day we're like, can we go on the water slide? No, it's very dangerous. And we're like, what do you mean? But it's very dangerous. We can only do it when we're shooting because we don't have insurance. And we're like, okay. So we wait and we wait and we wait. And then they finally let us go on the day they're shooting. But there's one catch. The catch is there's got to be a guy on a mat in between our legs with a camera coming in front of us and like a sound guy on his back like this and another guy over here trying to catch the focus. So there's like 3 people on this board in front of us and we're going down and we're like, wait a minute. It's not safe for us to go by ourselves, but with a bunch of machinery that could kill us, that's okay. We got insurance for that. Yeah, that's a true story.
And
true
like
story.
they had done all the cool set dressing with like sticks and things like poking out and you know things that were supposed to be weapons or whatever.
Daggers.
And so I'm going down there and I'm like, oh cool, oh wow, look what they did. You know, it's like no, you got to be so. They should have, yeah. I wish we could have done it more. But then, you know, now I'm older. It wasn't like a professional water slide company put it in. You know, it was like guys were like, well, staples? No, that won't work. With the hot glue? I don't know. So, you know, you climb up the rickety stairs of the old studio and you're like, you probably ought to make it, you know? They tried it with the one, you know, my stunt person was a girl. Because they're small, and so they have these female stunt doubles. She was fine, so we got to do it once. I don't know.
And then we even got to come out of the shoots once as well.
You did, I didn't.
What?
Yeah, I think it was you,
Sean?
Josh. You did as well?
Yeah.
I didn't come out of the...
How did you not get to do that?
Because I didn't want to, I was scared.
So much for the tough data, huh? Double O data.
They weren't clear about what to do, so it was, you know, this what do you call it? The facade was almost up against the back wall of the studio or the front wall of the stage. So you climb up the thing, and then you just go out the little chute. So it's a very short little, you know, exit of the end of the slide, and the water was 4 feet deep. Okay, it was like 10 feet up and 4 feet deep. The stunt guys all knew that when you land, you kind of like, you know, so you don't, but I went, boom, bit my, I was like, but I wanted to do it again, so I tried not to
complain.
Yeah, don't complain, exactly. Partnership.
And is there any truth to the kind of mythology that when you guys see the ship on screen, that's the first time you're actually seeing the ship? Is that true?
We've never told this story before.
Yeah.
No, it's true that it's mythology.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Sean, remember
There
we
you
used to ride our bikes from our trailer to that stage, and we would try to sneak in. But they have a security guard there 24/7 guarding the door. And Sean and I would try to like, hey, see if we can get past him, you know. We would try to talk to him and the other person would try to sneak in. Remember that?
Well, I tell the story about Mark Marshall. It was with me. And it really was just the first little bits of the bottom of the ship had been built. And the door was open. The big, massive door was open. And I walked by, and I was like, oh, what's that? But I couldn't make out how it would become a pirate ship. It just looked like wood. And we turned to walk away, and I don't know if it was Harvey or if it was somebody looked at Mark and said, if he saw anything, you're fired. And I was like, I don't want to see a pirate ship now. That got mean.
All right, we got time for a few more. They're giving us the wrap-up symbol, so let's try and get through these.
All right. 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Do you ever feel that Donatello didn't get enough stage time?
No, I never felt that. It's 4 turtles, so we got to divide the time equally.
Yeah. Okay.
And the one with Vanilla Ice, I don't even know how much time he got. Maybe he was like in every scene. I just didn't see the movie.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
It was awesome.
It was?
I didn't see it.
I know.
What are each of your favorite lines from the Goonies?
I am wondering what is in the bag.
I'm wondering.
What he says when we're looking at the restaurant and the Fratellis are carrying out the dead body, and so earnestly, Data's like, I'm wondering. This is just such a contemplative.
Like sometimes when I go out with my friends, and we go out to eat or whatever, and I will unconsciously say, $50 bill. And I'm like with a big group, and everyone starts laughing. I have no idea why, and then it takes me like, oh, okay, I get it, the reference.
Who's got a $50 bill? $50 bill?
Oh, it's so good.
For me, I hadn't seen the movie in many years, and I watched it at one of those Alamo Draft House things, and I remember thinking, where I go, hey, Chunk, I got pictures of your mom naked, real cheap. And I was like, that is really pushing it for a little kid to say. I mean, wow.
And then the body shaming, and it just gets worse and worse.
Right?
80s PG. That's what we get.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Thank you for asking. It's our time down here.
Hi, I just want to mention that my parents really wanted to make it here, but they couldn't. It's because my dad had to get surgery, and so they really say hi.
Hi, Dad.
Hello.
Hello.
But my question is, what's your fondest memory of making the movie?
What's your fondest memory?
I know that's probably been asked a lot.
Oh, it's a great question.
Kissing
Go
the
ahead.
girl. I got
There you go.
Was it really?
The fondest memory I have is the time we spent in the trailer doing schoolwork with because it's a law that when you're working with minors, you have to hire a tutor, and you
Jack
have
Tice,
to get
the great Jack Tice.
yes, and you have to get 3 hours of schoolwork in every day, and it was in that trailer that we all bonded. We became brothers and sisters, and it's in that trailer that we laughed, we cried. We joke, we made fun of each other, I mean, it was just...
And Martha and I got in a physical fight.
In the trailer, too, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The only time I've ever fought with a girl.
Oh, really?
You got beat, too.
Oh, yeah. She was like twice my size. She was from New York, and she was tough, and she was like...
I walk in, and Martha's got Corey pinned against the wall, and you're like, Martha,
No
let him go.
way.
Let him go. Let him go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, thank you. Love to Dad.
Hi.
Hi.
So basically, as you can tell, I'm a Turtles fan of both renditions.
Thank you.
So about the 2012 series, Raphael was technically a parent of Spike, and he was still overprotective of him despite his mutation. So of the Goonies cast, who would you say is more of the helicopter parent?
What a deep Ninja Turtles question.
I don't know. It's like a big mix.
Then or now?
Both.
More of a helicopter parent between
I feel like it's
who?
me. I feel like I feel protective over everyone. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but I'm like that everywhere I go. I'm always worried about everybody. I don't know. Maybe?
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm the same way, but I don't know if Donatello is.
No. Well, sure he is. You think? Maybe. No, Raph with Spike, the coolest thing about Raph in the 2012 version is like with Mona Lisa, his girlfriend, who's a salamander, really weird salamander. Like, it's so great to see somebody who's like tough and gruff and, grumpy all the time, have a soft, sweet experience. So, he gets to kiss Mona Lisa, which I was like exceedingly happy about for him. Yeah. So I think the Turtles all look after each other and the Goonies all looked after each other. I don't know that there is one helicopter parent.
But that said, there is a little bit of a reversal of fortune, because when Spike turns into Slash and he becomes the most powerful turtle, well, then he kind of has to take care of all the rest, right? So he kind of actually becomes the helicopter parent, I guess you would say.
Yeah. He's always my little boy, but whatever.
Well, yeah, but you know how it is when your little kid gets bigger than you all of a sudden, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess you're still my little kid, though, right?
He's still a turtle?
That's gonna happen to my brain. Yeah.
To me, he's just like this
giant.
I'm just looking at you in the middle of this conversation.
sorry, Key. It's a turtle question.
They're doing just fine without me. Okay.
So
Esoteria 101. Here endeth the lesson.
So we have to wrap up, but
Hopefully that answered
wait,
your
you got
question.
one person behind. That
I
one
want to
person.
end.
One more person.
Hi. All right.
Come on,
Ask
one
a question
person.
super quick,
Bye,
and then we're
turtle.
going to end on a reflective note here.
Hi.
Hi.
So obviously you got to go on like a lot of adventures while filming the movie. What was like your favorite adventure to go on? Like, was it seeing the pirate ship, or like filming with the octopus? Like, what did you kind of take with you?
To me, the bicycles in Oregon, when we were on those kind of like mountainy, wet roads.
That was the best.
That felt like, the sea, the ocean breeze was on you, and they were always late. Like, we always were, the sun is going down, we have to go quickly, and like, there's one bit where I kind of almost crash, and then I go back to like pick up the map or something. That was real. I really did crash. I was so upset because I wanted to look like I was a tough bicycle rider, but I really crashed. So, but that, to me, that was the most, it felt like what it looks like.
I enjoyed that too. I really liked the bike stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
And the pirate ship was amazing. That we built that, and it was just a sight to behold. And the best part about that set is all that giant pool of water is heated. So it's like 85, 90 degrees.
Yeah, it was
so
nice.
It was so nice.
And there's blue dye in it, so you'd get home and you'd be like painted blue. Like,
you'd have blue boogers. You'd like go to blow your nose, and all of a sudden all this blue crap would come out, and you'd be like, that's not healthy. That's probably not good.
I was bummed out I didn't get to go off the plank. I really wanted to jump off the plank.
Yeah, that was so not happening. You thought 10 feet was high, like 30. But okay, I have one for you. So for me, the best moment besides, the general idea of being able to have these guys next to me every day, is the fact that every cool celebrity who was ever cool in the 80s came to the set. I mean, everybody. From like Dan Aykroyd to Pee Wee Herman to Cyndi Lauper, Michael Jackson. I mean,
also the heads of the other studios who wanted to see what was possible. Like, it was a landmark achievement in set design. So that was. I remember one time we were in school and like a pink elephant walked by, and then something else, and you're like, oh, this is the acid dropping portion of the school experience.
Oh, that was Pee Wee. That was Pee Wee filming across the street.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure was filming.
I remember one day when Harrison Ford came to visit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
There's a biography of him that he absolutely hates. And Steven Spielberg did a joke on him, went out and bought 200 copies. Remember this? He bought 200 copies, and when Harrison Ford walked in the set, first of all, he looked to his left, and there was a security guard reading that biography. And then he looked at it and go, oh, so he rolled his eyes. He walked a little further into the stage. The craft service guy is reading that book. He walked a little further down. The electrician was reading that book. He got on the set, and there was like 50 people have that book reading it, and he said, oh, you bastard. That was a great day. Yeah.
Somehow I missed all that. I don't know how I missed it. I think I got to the set late when Harrison was there because I was in the trailer, and I remember coming, like hearing, oh, Harrison Ford's here. And I remember coming just in time when he was going across the trestle with the log, where the water comes rushing over us. And Steven was taking him up on that journey, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go, go on the adventure with Indiana Jones. Come on. How many times does that happen? Indiana Jones comes to our set to go through our caves. Nice.
But the production designer on the movie was amazing. So that's why we had so many, friends. Friends of Steven and Dick to come and visit because the set was amazing. It was just beautiful.
J. Michael Riva. The set with the big skull, where
the organ?
Data, not the organ, not the skull and bones. No, the big pirate looking, with the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so where you come down with the pinchers of peril and almost die.
Yes,
and then we go there. Do you remember what that was originally supposed to be in the screenplay?
A flood. It was
gonna fill. The chamber was gonna fill with water.
Yeah.
And Josh was gonna go down. Brand was gonna go down and unplug it, so that it would drain and it would reveal whatever the next bit was. So, but I think they ran out of money and they made a pee joke out of it.
On that P note, I think that's it. Hey, I just want to say, guys, you're very lucky to be here today. You know why? Because this is the last Goonie reunion of the year. So who knows if it'll happen again. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
Give these guys a round of applause. Sean Astin, Huy Quan, and Corey Feldman. Do my own stunts. Fan Expo Canada. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.